Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I will show you crazy blitz game that I played on chess.com. I was playing against a pretty high rated player. He has 2172 and well, I don't know how that translates to FIDE ratings, but I think that's over 2250 FIDE or something like that. Okay, let's see what happened. I was white and opened with e4 and we entered the Evans Gambit. I don't really play this regularly, so I don't know much theory here, but I know this much, that I can go for something like this, and now I lose the right to castle, but I have this nice center and some lead in development. And here my opponent played a bad move. Well, this move is bad because the knight and bishop are in really awkward spots. Like now here white can even go to something like this, d5, and when this knight moves, the bishop will be hanging because the queen can come here and give a check and attack it. It's not so simple, but this is not good for black. I didn't go for that. I actually forgot about that move, so I play queen b3, and this is also good because now this battery is looking at this f7 pawn, and after queen f6 here actually black is, believe it or not, lost, but he is lost if white plays bishop b2, because now the rook is protected and white is ready to push d5, open the bishop, attack the queen, attack the knight, and if this knight moves, then white just gives a check and picks up, just picks up this bishop. And if the queen moves, then you can go d5, knight moves, queen check, picking up the bishop. But I didn't see that, so the game goes on. I wanted to open the files in the center and try to take advantage of those open lines. So black took, I took, and now actually if black had played queen f5, this queen would be pretty safe here, and this square is protected, and actually white doesn't have much here, but my opponent played here, and that allows the bishop to develop with attack on a queen. And already black's position is not so good. After f6 I exchanged, and here I made another mistake. I think I should have gone for a3, but I went with knight bd2. It looks logical, just to open the first rank so the rook can come here and make some trouble, actually win the queen. But the problem with this move is that black can actually go here because the bishop is defended, so the knight can move, attack the queen, and now this is not good for white, because after this I cannot take advantage of the e file, because after rook e1 black has simply bishop e6. There is no more white bishop here, so he can do that, and I'm actually here lost. But black didn't do that. He removed the queen from the e file, and now the game is still on, because after these moves what I notice is that this queen is a little bit overloaded. It protects this bishop and also this knight, so I exchanged. He cannot take with the queen because the bishop drops, and now even though the bishop is pinning this knight can move because it attacks the queen at the same time. So the queen went here, and here I missed a really simple move that would actually get me into a winning position. After I played rook d1, because I thought maybe he will try to castle long, but after knight f6, queen f6, queen b4, all of a sudden we are equal material, but there is a nasty pin along the e file, and the queen is also looking there, the queen is looking here, and this is actually a lost position for black, because he has a lot of trouble on the e file, and white can he cannot win immediately, but it's just strategically lost. But I failed to do that, so I went rook d1, saving the rook and looking at this d file, so he cannot castle long so easily. Now another mistake by black, which I didn't take advantage of, but as you can see, the bishop here is loose, and if only white could give this check, then it would be a fork. But at the moment, the queen is protecting the f6 square. So what can white do about that? Well, there is a simple move, a3, attacking the bishop, and when the bishop moves, we just exchange the queens, and now no one is protecting f6 square, so this bishop is lost. It's this fork. But I failed to see that as well. So I played not a good move, but I tried to avoid the pin, and I'm ready to maybe operate along the third rank. And now bishop f5, not so good either. Probably just exchanging here, followed by knight c6 was better. But now I realized that if I just protect my knight, black will simply castle and escape, and then I would be in trouble. So I first gave this check to make sure that the king stays on a relatively unsafe place. But this is not much. Now there is a problem here, so I had to remove the rook, and black played a good move, activating his rook and maybe in the future having some ideas along the d file. And probably the best way to go here was something like this, followed by g4, moving the king and then joining the rook to the fray, but I went for something a little bit more crazy. g3. I want to put the king here, but this of course allows a check there, and I wasn't scared of this, although this is not good. This is just lost for white, but I still thought that this was the way to go. Now the problem is black can simply go knight c6 and look at this square with the knight, so in a way he's pinning my knight to... He's not really pinning, but this knight cannot move because always there is knight d4 check. But black did something else. He gave a check and missed a simple reply, bishop c4. Maybe he was intending to go b5, but then he realized probably that that's not so good, so he just went back. And I played knight h4. The idea is to push g4 and open the g file. Actually, white is still lost here, but black helped me to continue the game. So after king g7, which is also not great because just knight c6 is really good looking at this d4 square. King g7, I managed to go through with my plan, and as you can see, now the rook is open to capture the bishop. But there is one small problem. Black captures this pawn with check. But now the g file is open, so I can protect my king, attack his bishop, and I'm ready to go rook g1. But I missed one small detail. Again, knight c6 would be very strong. Just ignoring this threat and making a threat for himself. This would just be devastating. But since it's a 5-minute game, and here we were already under a minute on the clock, mistakes were made again. So black played bishop h5, and now it gets really interesting. I managed to give this check. It was blocked, and I went with knight to g3. The idea is to just give a check here and somehow try to make this attack work, although it already doesn't look like it's going to work. And here black played rook h to f8 with the idea to make this square available for his king, and of course I gave a check, and now I went all in with rook g6, h6, g6 and f4, and all of a sudden this rook has an access to the h file, and this bishop and this knight, they're taking some squares from the black king. Let's say he takes this knight, then this is actually a checkmate. But of course he doesn't have to take it. There was a very simple defense which we both overlooked, but here we're already like, it's like 30 seconds for each one of us, or even less, maybe 20 seconds, I'm not sure. So with this move he would actually pin my rook, so it cannot go to h file, and white is just lost. But my opponent didn't see that, so he went rook d2 check. Now I don't want to go to f3 because I'm blocking my rook. I don't want to go e1 into this discovery, so I went to f1. And here black has only one move to prolong the game, and that's rook f2. With rook f2, after taking, he can go here, and the game is still on. Although here, not sure totally who is better or what, but this would prolong the game. But he didn't see that, so he gave up his queen, because otherwise, without rook f2 or giving up the queen, there is really no way to stop rook h3 followed by queen g3 if this is taken, or just rook h3 mate. So he gave up the queen, and then he prevented me from giving a check on the h file. But now with a simple move, also I'm a queen up for some material, but now black is just lost. After these moves, he took the pawn, and here I actually lost on time. So he did win in the end. Well, he deserved to win. I really didn't. I made a lot of mistakes. He also did. But at least the game was really, really interesting. And even though I lost it, I think it was really worth making a video about this game. I hope you liked the game and the ideas that both of us presented while playing. And thank you for watching this video, and see you soon.